Alrighty, guys. Familiar faces. Doug, Pete the Greek, Dave, all in town for the 3MA party, but it actually turned it into a whole weekend party and after party from 3MA. So, gonna have tons of footage and stuff for you guys to see. Not by me, unfortunately, I didn't pull out my phone at all, but thanks to these guys, they were taking a lot of cool videos, so we'll be sharing that. It's just going to take me a little while to get it all together. But wanted to do a little wrap-up and feedback from everybody, get their thoughts, unscripted. We just put this camera in front of everybody. So I'm going to go around the room and talk about the weekend in general. We started off on Friday. We thought it was going to be a normal... just a regular night. Ended up having some stories from that. Not really applicable to this channel. Maybe for Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. But getting to the party and everything that happened last night. We'll start with you, Doug, from far away. What was your impressions of the weekend?
Oh, I love the store. The new store is beautiful. They did a really nice job putting all that together. I thought the rooms sounded great. Certainly an upgrade to the other store. It was like a mini audio show. I really enjoyed it. I mean, seeing familiar faces.
Exactly. That's how I felt
around
too.
And talking to everybody. It was just great. I didn't get a lot of chance to do critical listening, and it was so crowded, but a great energy. I'm happy for the guys at 3MA. It's a beautiful store and really nice products there.
Yeah, I would echo all of that. It was so packed, you couldn't really, quality test the systems. But certainly if you go in on a normal work day, you should be, in now so much better environment than their old store. So, yeah. What about you, Pete?
First of all, I want to tip my hat and give a great shout out to Johnny. Johnny, grand slam. The best audio store I've ever been into. And I'm not saying that because I like you and you're a friend of mine. Fantastic store. I mean, it's not only a store, it's a place you can go to for the entire day just to hang out. They have a cigar bar. They have a full bar. They have an espresso bar. It's insane. They have artwork.
It's really a bar.
Yeah,
it has music.
Yeah. And I'm talking about he's got some bottles up there that are $5,000. I'm like, it's insane.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you want a shot? Just go there to get wasted. It is spectacular. A lot of artwork. Very impressive artwork collection.
Those wood carvings.
The wood carvings.
Whoa.
There was these carvings that he had that were made out of one solid piece of wood that must have taken a year.
The trunk of a tree.
The trunk of a tree.
The
Yeah.
roots and
But getting to the audio aspect, the rooms were great. The MBL extremes. MBLs can sound great. They can, to me, sound not so great. The best experience with an MBL speaker was at 3MA. They're set up correctly. There was this woman I was sitting next to, and she goes to me, "Where's the sound coming from?" And I go, "From the speakers." She goes, "Where are the speakers?" I go, "You see those silver things in the middle?"
Didn't even know they were speakers.
She thought it was a piece of art.
Yeah.
And she's like, "There's no sound coming from there. It sounds like it's coming from the wall in the back." I go, "That's a technology,
And that room was full the entire time.
It was full.
The entire time.
The magical room sounded great. The Akora room sounded great. Everything sounded fantastic. But the showroom is, I told Johnny, I think it's the greatest audio store in the world. And not that I've been to every audio store in the world, but out of all the ones I've been into, and I've been to quite a few, it's really spectacular. And a shout out to Johnny. Great job, man. Lots of luck.
Yeah, and you bring up, y'all both brought up a good point about it almost being like a show.
Yeah.
And I wanted to give special props. You reminded me, the MBLs, because they don't look like a speaker, and it's a party atmosphere where people are there that aren't used to being in that store. If you remember last night, it was a lot of people that are just there to party.
Right.
Jeremy had to do a lot more work than at a normal show. Even at his show conditions, you have seen him in videos. I think, Dave, you even caught one where people want to touch the tweeter and touch stuff. And here, I remember talking to him. He said, I got to run in the room because somebody was running in with big punch glasses full of stuff, and they like to just touch the speakers because they don't know that's a speaker.
Yeah.
And so that was a lot of work as well as fun for the manufacturer. So just a shout out to them spending that time in each room like a show conditions. It was part work for them, but I'm sure they had a great time too. And what about you, Dave?
Yeah, of course, echo what Doug and Pete just said. And I was fortunate. I was able to come in on Friday. So I got to the shop actually early Friday afternoon. And so I had the whole day to spend with all the fellows there. You know, I mean, Greg Barron was there, Val was setting up his room. And just like being a show, they each had control of their rooms, and they got to set up the room to the best. For Val, for his big, you know, the VRCs,
Yep.
Jeremy, MVL. They had, well, see, the Magico guy, he wasn't there, but the Boulder fellas, the
Yep.
Boulder reps were all there. Oz was there, setting up his room with Greg. And it was like a show. Greg was running tape late into the night, Friday night.
Yeah, you were there. We didn't go on
And,
Friday, but you were there till late
yeah,
on Friday.
Yeah. And that was great because there was only a few of us. Johnny ordered out barbecue for everybody, and again sampling a lot of from the bar, a lot of different the whiskeys and things they had. And I mean, what makes it the greatest shop isn't what it looks like when you go in. It's the attitude of everyone. As soon as you walk through that door, you're welcomed again. I keep saying it, but it's true. You're welcomed as family.
Right.
Yeah, it's the only store I've been into where it's so non-high pressure.
Yeah.
You know, when you go into like a high-end store and they want to make the sale, they want to like, you're not leaving here. It's, you know, you buy or die, you know?
Or they'll
That's not the
ignore
attitude.
you
Yeah.
because they feel, oh,
Johnny
no, you're
treats
not.
you and Luis treats you like family. Like we're going to take care of you. Spend the day here. No pressure. Great atmosphere. The atmosphere is incredible. Really, really family oriented.
Yeah.
I'll have to come back and try bourbon though over there.
Yeah.
Didn't get a chance.
Well, it doesn't take much to get these guys to come in town because we're going to have a lot of footage of before and after that also we do. That is a lot of fun. I don't know how much is going to get shared, actually. But in any case, no, I want to tell a story on this front because one of the unique things, me being here and living here for so long, I know where Johnny started, even before all the people that even work there now. He had a very small shop on Richmond where he was basically just he didn't carry some brands, but it was almost like a used equipment shop.
Oh, wow.
And he was doing a good job of, you know, almost like a quasi eBay brick and mortar store for audio equipment. And that's how he started from humble beginnings. And I remember going in there because I was an audiophile. I wanted to check out the new audiophile store. And I walk in at first and I'm like, this is not like a normal audiophile. It's a bunch of used gear, just a few. I know he carried Octave back then and whatever. But there was a piece there that I'd always wanted to try, a Krell surround sound processor. And so I came in there and I said, yeah, I'd like to try that. And he says, oh, just go ahead, take it home and try it and let me know. And so I'm getting my wallet out, give him my credit card, you know, you know, I guess you need some kind of, no, go ahead, take it. And if you don't like it, bring it back. And to his credit, actually, I put it in, it just didn't fit my system well, and I brought it back. But the thing was that was a kind of experience that all the other audio stores, and you know, back in New Orleans, what we had to deal with certain audio stores and across the country, it's a much different vibe. And so when they went to that other location and started carrying brands, and I remember covering the first time they installed the MBL 101. It's like a 7-part video series of mine where I covered entirely putting it in. And that's when I think they really started getting put on the map because they became one of the biggest dealers for MBL. One of the newest dealers of MBL also became one of the biggest. I think they sold 4 or 5.
They're pretty top for Rel now too, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they're one of the top for Rel. We've been one of the top for ARC. But yeah, you've seen this growth over the years, but it doesn't come just from being in a big city. There's a lot of other dealers in this city and in this state. It comes with, you know, being able to create that bond with certain customers. And yes, this is a price point that's not for everybody. There isn't a whole lot of budget gear in there.
The YGs were the budget system.
Yeah, and that's still quite a bit of money for most
the entry
people.
level YGs, that was the...
So yeah, I can't cover everything they do and satisfy everybody's budget point, but so I do a lot of other stuff on the channel as well. But in terms of high-end gear and those particular brands, and there's other great brands too that are high-end, but this is a great location to sample the highest level gear in a variety of different rooms that have slightly different profiles. You could tell some have a little more reverb, less reverb, more treatments or less treatments, size, and then you get all the perks of you can get wasted, smoke a cigar, have a good time, just hang out.
But the rooms are so incredibly well soundproofed, and
Yes.
they're well built, and
Those doors
the
were
doors were like this thick.
Yeah,
Were like what?
solid piece of wood.
4 inches had to be, right?
Yeah, oh, at least.
At
Yeah.
least 4 inches, maybe 5 inches. I've never seen a door like that. I thought they
They
were.
had them made special.
I think they were made to hold King Kong. It says Cage.
Yeah, I wonder if they had a latch and locked it. If you ever got locked in, how would you get out?
You're not getting out.
Yeah, luckily, they were
Yeah,
pushing.
it was a
You know.
solid door.
Yeah.
Impressive.
So that was a lot of fun. I'm drinking a lot of water. Everybody's got water because the after party was just as fun.
Well, the pre-party was pretty good too.
The pre-party, the after party. I'm going to have plenty of footage thanks to these guys filming a lot of it. We had a party bus. We went to CL. Stay tuned. Follow me on Instagram if you haven't, because that's where a lot of that stuff goes. Any final thoughts, guys?
Great time, and thank you, Jason, for your incredible hospitality.
Always a good time here.
Always a good time
Oh,
here.
you know, one thing I wanted to ask you guys about, because we did I had a guy come and listen to the Bach while he was here.
Right.
And I did the same demo for you guys because there's always this question of DSP.
Oh, still.
Still, people have questions about DSP. And what was great is that recording engineer came and demoed the Bach, and it was clear as day when I did Make Us Stronger, which a lot of people use. Make Us Stronger. That song is their demo track. And they're really not doing themselves any favor if they're playing that bass without DSP getting it right. Because what we did in here is we turned on the Bach and ORC and off.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to put words in your mouth.
That was night and day. Well,
Night
if
and
you never had the DSP version of it, you wouldn't know what you're missing. But when you hear the comparison, it's not subtle. It's about as big of a difference in audio.
Yeah,
as you
I
can
mean,
get.
with no DSP whatsoever, you're at this level. Once you put in the Bach, you get up here. It is beyond night and day. And then when you put in the ORC, you go a little bit more. Not as drastic as the Bach, but you get another 20-25% performance. That's but the ORC is really
And it's all about refinement.
big changes.
It's all refinement.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that it sounds horrible without the ORC.
Right.
It actually sounds ordinary. It sounds like a lot of other good systems.
Yeah.
And once ORC clicks on, it's like, wow, how much more refined can
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, it just
Didn't think it would be
just opens
possible to
everything
do
up.
that.
Yeah, and maybe I'll even pop up the measurements. Once you get in your ear flat bass, that's when you really hear that song, and you'll never unhear that once you hear it like that. So that was really one of the takeaways of this weekend. It was good to hear you guys' impressions when I did that demo. But yeah, lots more to come, guys. Sign up, subscribe, and we'll see you back here soon.